Hi, I want to thank you for taking the time to apply for Teach for America and as a means to support you in that process of considering your impact in educational equity. I wanted to provide a little bit more about my background in teaching as well as what got me started in thinking about wanting to have an impact for our students. I graduated from St. Joseph's University in 2011 with a degree in finance and economics. I actually spent 2 years in the insurance industry, and at the time that I transitioned to education, I was really reflecting back on my time as an undergraduate student, being a resident assistant for some of the college students there, as well as my time as a volunteer in the local community, working with high schoolers in a capacity as just a community leader, as well as a role model for several of the students living throughout Philadelphia. I really missed those times, and so I applied to Teach for America. And going from Philadelphia to Mississippi, my placement area, was a scary transition. It was a new culture and something that I wasn't entirely sure about my place and about my perspective at the time, but I knew that my passion for educational equity was greater than any doubts that I had regarding a move to a new place in a new area. So I spent 2 years in the classroom as a high school math teacher for Algebra 1 and Algebra 2, and also founded a cross-country program. So it was a really exciting time. Thinking about my classroom academic goals, I always inspired students to have a growth mindset as opposed to a fixed mindset. So just the difference between the two. A growth mindset is based on effort and the ability to have self-efficacy in what you apply and what you try to do in education and any real pursuit that you have in life. A lot of our students faced fixed mindsets, not thinking that they're smart enough, or if they thought they were smart enough, that it was an inherent talent that they just had. And so all my students, I encourage them to find their own personal worth in their academic success because it all ties to what they wanted to find in their collegiate and professional successes. On a qualitative basis, I had mentioned being a cross-country coach, but I also was the founder of a math club. It was inspired by one of our students not really finding much after-school help in regards to her mathematics efforts and progress. So we started a math club, and we did several competitions. We traveled throughout the state of Mississippi. One of the highlights was going to the University of Mississippi and competing there. It was a really exciting time, and it just exposes our students to many different opportunities outside of the classroom. And that goes to cross-country running as well. Founding a program was really a rewarding process, and to this day, 4 years later, I still keep in touch with many of our runners. Just this past year, I ran a half marathon going from Arkansas to Mississippi with several of my former students. And this past spring, I went back to watch my freshman students at the time when I first started cross the stage to receive their diplomas. It was a really great time and something that I'm very passionate about still. I still work with the onboarding team to encourage several students to consider their time in moving to Mississippi, a great place and a great area to have a really substantial impact on the lives of our students. And the last thing I'd like to say is, in terms of getting to know other folks, if you're moving to a new place, you have a whole cohort of peers that are in a similar situation to yourself. And you have the opportunity in your second year to help guide and mentor a lot of these teachers. In fact, during my second year, I was a professional learning community leader, which meant I got to work with several first-year teachers throughout the state of Mississippi and encourage them to think about their teaching practices and improve upon them in a very vulnerable but welcoming environment for teachers to really do what's best for their students. So as you consider this process of applying to Teach for America, I want you to really think about the potential impact that you have in the lives of our students and allow that to weigh much more heavily upon any other consideration of concern or hesitation in regards to moving to a new area. I just want to say I'm really thrilled to provide this context for you in the process of applying, and good luck with everything. Thanks.